stepped up to the occasion. And sometimes, Travis, when the rain comes, you just got to go out there and try to find the joy, have some fun like you're a kid playing in the rain. And that's exactly what some of our teams did. Here's a look at both of our pairings. And like you said, this quarterfinal matchup, normally you'd see it in the finals, but you're seeing it here in the quarterfinals. So the fans at home and the fans here, they're getting treated to some gold medal quality volleyball early here in this tournament. Like you said, Travis, it's 12 straight wins for Norway. Qatar only 2 wins. It's been a minute since they've won. So, are they due? Are they due for a win here?
I think if they were playing the way that they played in Joao Pessoa, I would say yes, they're due for a win. But they have been a bit off. And we were chatting with Cherif as we walked onto the court, and he's getting his toe taped up, he's getting his ankle taped up, and he said it's the end of the season, we are not machines. And they just look a little bit dinged up, a little bit sloppier than we're expected to see from them. Now, it's a credit to them that their sloppy gets them into the quarterfinals of an elite. And it's not that we've seen peak Norway either. They played very well against Martin Splavens and Christian Fokrats, another team in the quarterfinals, but we haven't seen A-plus beach volleyball from Norway either. Now, mustachioed Anders Mole.
He said November.
Big fan of Movember. Was heckling us for not rocking mustaches. Might have to do that for finals Sunday. But you put them in a elimination scenario, that's when we get the sense of urgency from the Beach Volley Vikings. This is where I think we're going to see some of the best from them.
I agree with you. Rare for the Vikings to go 3 sets twice in pool play in this event. Not something you see very often. So some extra sets underneath the legs, but they did get automatic bye to the quarterfinals. And so, one less match underneath the belt for this Norwegian team. And like Cherif said, it's a long season. And so, at this point in the season, it's who's taking care of their body the best, who's recovering as well, what injuries are lingering, and which ones are maybe a couple ibuprofens away from not feeling anymore. Either way, you know we're going to get A-plus volleyball here in Rio, our first quarterfinal matchup. Sorum and Norway on the left side of the screen in red, and Qatar on the right in white. And the poke shot to start things off is Doug. And Christian Sorum, that one goes into the net for a hitting error to start this one off for the Volley Vikings.
Well, he earned the opportunity to give himself a hitting error, timed that move down the line perfectly, and was just so calm and so smooth, and just tried to carve that one a little bit too sharp into the angle.
Those first jumps of the match, really finding that rhythm, finding the height and that contact point. Sure will get even more crisp as we go on here for Norway. So I'm going behind again. This ball a little bit tight. And the baby Cuddy, there's the touch she was looking for on that first play.
The touch is phenomenal, but what I loved most about this from Sorum is his feet to ball. The set drifts a little bit tight and a little bit further to the right than he expected. He has that nice little stutter step, step close, and then he just hypnotizes Ahmed.
Anders Mole throwing up a heavy jump serve to start off his serving run with an ace.
We're going through the preliminary phases of the Player of the Year voting, and Server of the Year at the moment being led by none other than Anders Mole, and that is a good example why.
He can do everything. Here's a little hybrid from Anders. Into the block. Speaking of serving of the year, he's also one of the best blockers that we have this year and all time, and he maybe gets one right in the face, Travis.
And this is one of those plays where being 6'7" and jumping 40 out of the sand, you're going to get dinged up in the nose a couple times. And that's a smart swing from Cherif. Americans, when they used to play Phil Dahlhauser when he was at his peak, Triborn used to say, I'm going to try to hit one off his head first point, and that'll teach you to spread block.
Yes, many Mikasas to the dome for Anders Mole. Perks of the job, if you will. I wouldn't mind jumping 40 and being 6'7" and get a couple balls. So, back to the service line. Another ace, an angry ace from Anders Mole.
And Christian Sorum, pull up a beach chair, buddy, because we have ace, block, ace. Christian can just stand in his footprints.
Oh my. Hot start here for Norway, 4-1. Another ripper, handled well. Cherif with a crispy cut shot, but it's dug. And the on-two goes down. Volley Vikings rolling here early.
And Cherif has a look through the net at Sorum as if, did you get that up? Are you serious? A phenomenal dig from Sorum and the on-two from Mole. Again, Mole just taking over early. Jump serves have been an issue for Qatar in this tournament, and Anders is coming out ripping.
That went off the net, catches Ahmed on his butt and can't handle it. So another ace for Anders Mole.
And think about the 4 serves that Anders cranked out that resulted in easy points. He went down the seam for 2 aces, went at Cherif with a little bit of trouble, and then goes line to line against Ahmed. He's gone full around the world, and now Qatar going, we must say, to the good side, the better side. We'll see if Anders takes a little bit off this serve.
Yes, like you said, Anders going with the float serve. This ball drifting a little bit high off the hands, goes Cherif, and a much-needed side out here for Qatar.
And I want to elaborate a little bit on the good side, bad side. So the side that Qatar is currently on is the good side. Anders is currently in what we call the coffin corner, the worst corner of the court. The wind is blowing from that back right to the front right, and so it's a bit of a diagonal headwind coming at Qatar.
Yeah, the wind has been a factor here this weekend, and we've noticed an uptick on the good side serving and the aces. And we talked about in their previous match, Cherif and Qatar, they serve phenomenal. Tons of aces between the two of them. So they're going to need to get back to that form. They want to match the Volley Vikings. And there's a good swing, deep angle for Cherif.
Excellent high swing from Cherif, and I would have to think it a bit of a mistake to serve Cherif in that situation. You have Ahmed, who's in the tougher of the 2 corners on this rear side, and so I would expect them to switch the serving targets to Ahmed while he's in the worst of the 2 corners on the good side.
And for Qatar, Ahmed jump serving. They're going to go down the middle. Anders trying to go sneaky line, and Cherif puts his first block on the board.
This is a phenomenal block. The set drifts off the net, and that's really difficult for a blocker to make that play on because it creates so many more alleys for Anders to go under, which he tries to do, and Cherif, with such a disciplined block, clamps that line with the right hand. Beautifully done.
Back to Anders in the middle. This time behind. Ahmed sliding a little early, leaving some space there for Mole.
This pass from Anders is exquisite. Just slides in so calm, so smooth, dimes a very difficult serve, and then just that wrist away miss-hit cutty on the line. It's perfect.
8-4 on the board. Vikings up 4. Cherif a little out wide, off the hand of Mole and out of bounds. So good use there for Cherif.
And Anders switching 1 point too early, getting a little bit excited to go back to that good side. I'd be excited to be on the side of Qatar at the moment as well.
Cherif challenging the block there of Anders. A risky swing, but gets rewarded. Cherif looking to use the wind, doesn't quite get the snap, and the fans let him know.
Now, a note about the fans. So in João Pessoa in the finals, Qatar was the adopted sons of Brazil. Their famous cheer where they end with Brazil as a big chorus, they changed to Qatar. Meanwhile, they were booing Norway. And we were talking to Christian about that earlier. He said, I don't trust these fans.
I love it. Cherif, beautiful soft shot over the top of Mole.
This is important for Qatar right now to start to earn as many points as you can on the bad side, especially with Anders coming up with his jump serve going. Now, Anders' jump serve is a bit feast or famine, hot and cold. Right now it's hot. You want to minimize his opportunities on this good side. To try to earn 1 or earn 2 is paramount.
Ahmed going cross court, and that's usually the serve when you're on that side. Like you said, Travis, working this bad corner on this side to Sorum.
Anders going back to his jump serve approach, and I'd fully expect either a seam or at Cherif.
A little off speed, handled well. Poke over, full layout from Sorum. Another chance for Qatar. Sorum down the middle with the dig. Nobody up. Oh, nice effort here from Qatar, but they can't get that one back. Scrappy play here from Norway to earn that one.
Kyle, here's what I'm wondering. If Christian Sorum mishits this intentionally, the way he hits that ball, there's no topspin on it, and it makes it so awkward for Ahmed to dig because there was enough pace on it to make him uncomfortable, but not enough.
So difficult to defend. Tops snappy into the middle. Good roll up there from Cherif. A joust at the net, no net. Play goes on, and a heater at the face of Cherif, who gets caught defensively. Vikings earn another one. Yes.
Another perfect dig and a perfect zero-step close, deep spatch right at Cherif. And again, this is why it was so important for Qatar to try to earn a point and minimize Anders' opportunity on this good side, because he's earned back-to-back points with this big jump serve.
12-6. Norway, Anders going for the float. Cherif, he chips one to the line. He finds the sand.
When you play a team 14 times, as these two have, Cherif knows that Anders was baiting the low line swing, makes such a nice, smart, high swing over the lateral move from Anders.
Jump set from Anders Mol. Good soft touch there from Cherif. Cherif, the little ole on that ball, and it goes long. Or wide, excuse me.
The first time I saw Anders jump set in serve receive, came in their pool play match against Adelmo and Andre, and we were chatting with him about it while watching Hendrik and Matthias, and Christian goes, I don't want to jump set, I want you to hit it on two.
He's like, I'm struggling inside out. I'm putting it up there to hit it. But an early jump set for Mol. Just another way as Sorum paints one to the corner. Just another facet to the game that Norway is adding when they're already at the top of the game.
So we'll go into the technical timeout. Norway up 13-8, and I cannot express enough that that is not a safe lead in these conditions. Qatar in particular has been a part of some wild, streaky matches. They were up 9-5 in the first set against Van de Velde and Immers, went down 15-10. We're prey to a 10-1 run, and that's not just Qatar. That has been every team. You take a look at Kim Van de Velde and Sandra Illinger's scores, it'll be 21-12 and then 9-21 and then 15-5.
Yeah.
That's the way it's going with these windy, often wet conditions. And so this set, while you might typically see 13-8 Norway, you think, all right, it's over. Let's just change the channel. Let's go to court two.
Yes.
Stay tuned, because Qatar's going to the good side, and that's where they can make up a lot of points, especially with the way that Ahmed and Cherif are serving.
And like you said, these teams have played each other so much that Qatar has a good feeling and a good defensive strategy for Norway. They can feel things sooner than other teams who play Norway because of the consistency, because of how many times when you play someone so many times. So Qatar, plenty of room to get back into this one as they go to the good side as well, Travis. Ahmed chipping line, just using that wind, letting that ball dance and drop.
And you said it, Kyle, using that wind. If we get a replay, just take a look at how high Ahmed hits this shot. And had he hit that same shot on the other side, it's going to be a foot, 2 feet long. But the wind instead knocks it straight down. It's a smartly played shot by Ahmed.
(9-13), line blocks is the call. A little snappy down the middle. Sorum with that spatchy deep swing, undefensible.
And that's a difficult swing to hit with this wind as it's blowing at Sorum's back. And that's a good lead by Ahmed. You want to bait him into hitting that because that's one of the lowest percentage swings on the court. It's just offense beats defense.
High pass. Ahmed out of the middle. And a brilliant late poke shot around that spread block of Anders Mol.
Ahmed's ability to hang and hang and hang, and then I'll pause, and then hang a little bit more, and then he catches it while Anders is on his way down. He still hits the right shot. It's genius.
10-14. Sorum from the left. Sneaking it under, it's Doug. The double block! And Ahmed identifies it immediately and just hits a high loopy shot to the middle of the court.
The wall of Norway is nothing for the smarts of Ahmed. Now a double block's a crowd pleaser. And it's so tempting to hit it, and Ahmed takes the smart shot, deep corner. You love to see the double block though, Kyle.
Mole getting a little stuck in the sand there. Good recovery though, and off the block with that poke shot. A break there for Norway.
We talk justifiably a lot about the physical gifts and prowess of Anders Mole. What he does when he gets sharked and just resets it so that they can have another clean play in 3, it's so genius, and that's the stuff that goes underrated.
Yeah, there's no stats for recycling balls, as we like to say. Anders showing us how it's done. There's another hang from Ahmed, Travis, and chipping it line.
And maybe Norway knew what they were doing when they were serving Cherif out of the gates, as Ahmed has been perfect even on the harder corner on this side. Now, he's not going to get too many serves on that far side, and he's doing his job. He's siding out perfect when it's been given to him.
Qatar would love one more point on this good side. And Anders Mole says not so fast.
And Cherif's a little upset at him for this one, is you see him sort of grimacing with that right hand where he didn't fully commit. I think he made the right read, and it's just one of those things where as a blocker, you see the read and you kind of half commit, and that's what happened there with Cherif. I think that if he had just trusted his instinct and clamped that right hand in there, I think he gets a block.
So Norway holding on to a 4-point lead. They'll move back to the good side. And back to their best server, Anders Mole, who's trying to rip one, but it goes just long.
By my count, that's Anders' first miss, so risk more than worth the reward right now.
Perfect pass from Sorum. The set drifting a little inside, and so cheeky from Christian Sorum underneath the block. Cherif.
This is a unique scenario for Sorum because he doesn't get his feet to ball, and he just sort of laterally jumps and hangs and sort of hits it at his shoulder, and it's just exquisite hand contact.
The deep float this time from Sorum, trying to use that wind. And a little dodgeball from Sorum, and that one goes long.
And I don't even know if Norway has earned a point on the bad side. All of their earned points have come on this side, and they've just been making hay and then siding out just as they need to on the bad side, and then they come to the good side and they just keep earning and earning.
A little hybrid here from Sorum, changing up the serves and the dive. Angle block from Anders Mole. Monster block.
And it's the double shuffle to the right hand clamp from Anders Mole. His feet to hand work. Watch this. Double shuffle to the right, and then right hand drops. It's perfect. It is so difficult to do, Kyle, because as a blocker, if you're shuffling that way, the tendency is to also drift that way. But Anders doesn't. Shuffles, gets balance, and clamps that right hand. It's a beauty.
It's beauty. Textbook stuff from Anders Mole, and just the amount of ground he covers in those two shuffles. He stays low. Cherif doesn't see him there. Good a look at our fans. A lot of yellow. It's a sea of yellow here in Brazil, and it's to be expected. The hometown coming out to support as we see Jackie Silva, Brazilian legend, sitting courtside, taking in all of the volleyball that Copacabana Beach has to offer. But yes, Qatar, the adopted sons of Brazil, could use maybe a little extra love here from these Brazilian fans.
And what they did so well in João Pessoa was give the fans a reason.
Yeah.
And they just haven't shown many signs of life in this one. And again, it's just been sort of an off tournament for them.
Good float serve. Cherif going behind, trying to use that wind behind. And sneaks a seam swing there right around Anders Mole.
That is a dangerous swing and a bit of a lucky break because you play that play 10 times. I think Anders blocks that eight or 9 times.
14-19. Bit of a mountain to climb now for Qatar. Sorum, he takes that look. There's another seam swing, this time from Sorum, and that one drops.
And this is that example of when the set goes a little bit further off the net, it creates those low alleys around the blocker, and that's about 3-4 feet off the net. A good set, but a nightmare for a blocker.
Yeah, those offsets on this good side, that wind blowing it, so expecting some of that movement, and there's a miss from Anders Mol, and we will switch sides. 15-20, Qatar down, but moving over to the good side, anything can happen.
Anything can happen, and again, we played a 3 sets for a reason. These two teams, well known for going the full 3 sets. Now, I would expect Cherif to go full green light at the service line just to try to get into the rhythm going into the second set.
There's a good serve. Sorum, the one-handed Kong lock from Cherif, stretching it out for the kill, for the
What
point.
a read and what a move from Cherif as he is firmly in the line. Watch this left hand. He's so far in the line and he just sees it. That's the full read and commit that he didn't do last time.
Big move from Cherif. Can he back it up with another good serve? He does. Mol for the set. Nice high flat swing off the hands of Cherif. And that's going to do it Norway. Holding on, commanding fashion here. 21-16 in this first set.
That was a borderline flawless opening set from Norway. I can't remember them hitting a single hitting error outside of the service line.
Sorum's first swing.
First swing
of the match.
And that was it.
That was it, I think.
That was the lone blemish,
Yes.
aside from the miscommunication on the jump set from Anders.
Yep.
But that's it. You get 2 mistakes, and that's all the room you're given, and then you combine that with an imperfect match from Qatar, and you get a 21-16 score that wasn't even that close.
No, it felt like a larger lead than that as we see our statistics. 2 blocks apiece. 3 service aces there for Norway. No aces for Qatar. I expect them maybe to earn one here with that serve from Cherif, starting to ramp it up in the second set, knowing, you know, when you lose like that, you look at what you did in that first set and you figure out, okay, where can we add some aggression? Where can we increase something? You know, and maybe it's from the service line. Maybe obviously side out is important, but starts with the serve and pass. And then Tijan. Good jump serve, a little bit of trouble here. Tight set and the poke over. Just excellent work. Calm from Christian Sorum.
So calm and a wonderful out-of-system set from Anders. We've seen a number of oversets in this, and Anders lobs it up perfect. Nice little spin on it so it holds its trajectory. And then Sorum just so smart.
Ahmed Tijan trying to go over the top of Sorum. He goes over but out of bounds.
It is not often you see someone try to find the high hands of Anders and don't hit it out by that much and still don't find him. Now, the respect that these two teams have for one another, I do expect Anders to call it when he does touch it.
Yes. Well, this time they go to Cherif. No error on that high contact from Cherif.
See a little fire coming from Cherif after that play as well, and that's what they need. They need a little bit of energy. They need a little bit of that intangible momentum, just a little firepower, and Cherif's trying to bring it. If there's anybody who can, it's Cherif Yunus.
Sorum poking to the angle, full layout from Ahmed. He's got to come back over. Mol goes behind. It's a heater, but it's done. Another chance. Oh, Mol trying to get too cute with the baby cut and puts that one to the net.
And even though Ahmed's not going to get any statistical kill for that, he makes 2 fantastic plays, keeps that balloon off the floor, as we love to say, and good things happen. The longer you extend rallies, the more you are giving yourself a chance to win the point, and that's exactly what they do.
Those are the momentum plays. Couple back-to-back digs, sparking some energy possibly for this Qatar team. And that's an ace for Cherif.
That's what they need to do. That's exactly what led them to their 3-set win earlier today against Philip Waller and the young Timo Hammerberg. If you haven't watched him, please do. They went to 3, and it was their serving. Ahmed strung together 3 aces in a row. Cherif put together a number of them. Service pressure is why Qatar is here. That's what they need to rely on.
That one, a little sidewinder, and continues to tail. That one goes wide. But a nice run of points and some life on this Qatar side.
And that's what I would call a worthy miss. I think we've seen what Norway does in system. You can't just be popping in serves anymore. You have to go for it, and misses are going to be worth the risk.
Tough pass. It was an opportunity there, and Anders Ball, a little mesmerizer down the middle.
And I think this is one of those times where Cherif was running his offensive route before he truly passed the ball. Watch, he's already leaving to run just that little shoot set to the right. Pass first, then run your route. And that's what we're working on with our girls at Florida State. We have a fun little dynamic offense, and a lot of time they just sort of leave the ball before they take care of it.
Ball out of the middle. Heavy serve. Sorum kind of sticking in there, but it goes off the platform and out of bounds. Nicely done there from Ahmed.
It's a fantastic set from Cherif, a run-through back set with a ball that already has a lot of RPMs in a situation where the wind could take it and push it over the net, and instead he lobs up Ahmed. Perfect.
4-all. Sorum going behind again, and somehow Christian Sorum working magic in the seam.
I want someone to stat the leader in tape kills. And I got my unofficial leader is Christian Sorum. This is just, he does this so much.
A wizard inside out is Christian Sorum, been doing it for years. This time a tape serve. Out of the middle is Ahmed in the poke, and you can see Bol, he's waiting for the poke shot, but still too good of offense.
Now I want to rewind all the way back to the top. Is that the first Christian Sorum jump serve you've ever seen?
Man.
I've never seen it.
I don't know.
That's a first for me.
I feel like I would be amiss to say that I've never seen it, but you could be right. This is why I keep you around, Travis. You are my stat guy. And we've seen many Christian Sorum high lines, whether it's from the left or the right. Mark that one down for another kill.
And you can tell the direction of the wind, for those just tuning in, how often the left side player on the back side of your screen is running a back set and the inverse on the far side of your screen. So Cherif and Anders on that far side running back sets every time. Ahmed and Christian running back sets almost every time, going with the wind.
This pass keeping Cherif on that right side, and Mo looking back at Sorum, must be some confusion defensively.
And that might be one of those system plays where if it's an in system, we're doing this. If it's out of system, we're doing that. Pass was out of system, and I think that Anders took a different call because the set was in system, and so that's where that miscommunication, I think, would come from.
And Sorum watching that one go all the way to the line, just like Coach tells you to do.
Just follow the ball all the way out. Mr. Fundamental, Mr. Christian, Mr. Intangible is Christian Sorum.
7-6 on the board. And the jump serve here, this time a hybrid. Ahmed out wide. Oh my goodness. Anders Mole putting Ahmed in a phone booth on that one.
Watch out.
Oh boy.
Watch out below. And this is where you see the blocker take a read, and this is the full commit. He's in the line, and watch this lateral move. He's up neutral, and then that big reach into the angle. Anders being Anders.
Man, I know Halloween is over, but that is scary. Switch sides, 8-6, Norway up 2. And Ahmed gets sliding over and working back to that sideline.
This time it's Anders' turn to grimace at himself on this one, because if he drops that right hand in, we all know, and heavens knows they do, that Ahmed loves that big crossbody line turn, and the more he comes into the middle, the more room he has, and that's where he wants to go, and Anders knew it and just didn't make that full commit.
It's served down the middle. Off the net, Anders Mole, not a problem.
I'm speechless. This is such a difficult swing to make, Kyle. He's so far off the net. He's hitting it on his way down from his jump, and he still has enough power to thread the needle between Ahmed and Cherif, one of the toughest defensive teams in the world.
One of the scrappiest. It's difficult teams to get the ball to the sand on. Option, brilliant touch there. Good feel for the court from Cherif.
And that's something that Qatar does so exceptionally well. And that's why the service pressure from Norway has been so vital, because that's the first on-2 we've seen from Cherif. Their service pressure has taken the threat of that away.
Ahmed with the jump serve. This ball drifting a little bit tight. Good timing there. Quick little jump set from Mole, but it's covered well from Qatar. And Cherif, another sneaky line shot.
I love the unspoken system of Norway, where any cut shot dig, any short line dig, any cover opportunity, it is just a shovel pass to a quick set to a nice chop from Christian. And if we know it's coming, so does Qatar, and they made an excellent defensive play out of it.
So does Qatar. Perks of playing a team 14 times. That's a deep off-speed serve. Trouble here for Norway, but opportunity for Qatar. They take advantage. Another fist bump for Cherif.
And again, this is the seesaw nature that we're going to be seeing throughout the remainder of this week. It's windy. The good side you need to take advantage of, and that's what Qatar is doing. A 4-1 run to retake the lead.
Another heater from Ahmed, but handled very well. And Mole with the hang and slap down the line.
And this is a difficult play for Cherif to make because Anders, he hits this again on his way down, and as a blocker, you can't anticipate that. And so Cherif had already made his move, and Anders uses that little sliver of line.
Yeah, credit to Anders Mole for coming in hard on his approach to make Cherif jump for the swing. Ahmed. And then some fire from Ahmed, who maybe goes over through the seam of Anders Mole there, Travis.
And that was the swing that he missed in that opening set, where it was mind-boggling that someone goes for the high hands of Anders, hits it OT, and hits it barely out of bounds. And now Ahmed, he's calibrated. He's still going OT. Now he's just finding back line.
He has calibrated up the swings. He has calibrated the jump. Here is Ahmed and Cherif, and they've come out with a little extra energy in this set, a little bit more aggression on the service end line for them, caused some trouble from Norway, some errant passes, and they've earned some defensive points. So definitely a different look here for Qatar in the second set.
Now this first switch out of this technical timeout is going to set the tone for the rest of this match. Norway back on the good side. Anders' serve hasn't been as problematic yet in this second set, and that's why Qatar needs to keep it that way. You're winning because Anders hasn't earned points in abundance. If they can steal a couple on this good side, on this bad side rather, Qatar's going to be in excellent shape.
Like you said, Qatar moving to the bad side, trying to hold on to their 1-point lead. Sorum, this ball again, drifting off the net. He hits a floater to the middle. Ahmed Tijan hammers one at the foot of Christian Sorum.
And we've seen Christian make some foot digs. That one is not available. Too much heat from Ahmed Tijan, and that is a critical earn point on the bad side. The more you can keep Anders off the service line from the good side, the better shape you're going to be in.
Sorum continuing to go behind, which is the right move. Anders needs to get that set just a little tighter for Sorum. He's going to stay on the left. On the line, Ahmed's all over it. And that ball gets pushed on the dig with that wind, Travis. It was an easy opportunity, but there is that strenuous factor of the wind.
There's so much to love about this play. The excellent timing and swat from Cherif, and then the way he opens up and gives Ahmed the perfect window to set it. Not an easy ball to set, and Ahmed, I think he shoved it further into the wind, expecting it to take it back into the court, and it just didn't.
Norway catch a break. Ripper there. What an option swing around the block of Anders Mole.
Big play from Qatar as a whole. As Cherif fends off a wicked serve from Anders, and then Ahmed Tijan a brilliant swing down the line on two.
Both serve, Sorum behind. This set a little bit better in terms of distance from the net, and that creates that sharper angle for Sorum.
Would you look at that? Another Christian Sorum tape swing kill. Rack him up.
Is that it? Sorum float serve dropping on Ahmed. On the line, Sorum makes the right read, but it ricochets off that block of Mole and down for the kill.
And Christian just had a moment of hesitation, and we had a good look at his face afterwards where he sort of chides himself for sort of stopping. You can see the stop and then go, and if he had just kept going, that ball's out.
14-12. Behind again for Sorum, into the pocket. Ahmed is there. Ahmed poking line, Sorum there. There's that fast offense, Travis. Oh, the risky seam swing pays off.
And here goes Cherif going to the crowd. He knows he can win over a Brazilian crowd, and so it begins.
There's a look at the Olympic gold medalists, Ana Patricia and Duda Lisboa, superstars of our sport, sitting courtside, catching all the action. High set to Sorum, and Cherif making the right move on the pull, but it's too good offense from Sorum.
And Cherif's starting to get into a pull-heavy mode because Christian hasn't really expressed that power that we saw in João Pessoa. Hasn't really opened it up, and so Cherif, he's made a couple plays off the net, and I think he's going to keep pulling until Christian proves that he's going to start blowing people up.
But a nice run for Qatar on that bad side, and now they will switch over to the good side. Norway down 13-15. Cherif high, hands rip. Off and out of bounds.
And we're just inching closer and closer and closer to an 11th set match out of 15 between these two teams.
I think they just like to play each other as much as possible. All the sets, all the reps. Here's Mole. No one's digging that one as Anders Mole trying to find some oil out here on the sands of Copacabana.
You know, people give Christian Sorum a lot of grief as one of the last holdouts to hand set, but it is in these windy conditions that bump setting is actually preferable. You put a little spin on it, it holds its position well, and Anders says, thank you, I'll have another.
Inside set. There's that crossbody swing from Ahmed Tijan we're so accustomed to seeing.
But this one's a little bit different. A lot of times when he goes crossbody power, he waits till it crosses to his left shoulder, and then he does a full rotation and Yahtzees it. That one was a little bit more of a wrist snap, a little bit more deceiving, and he still puts that much power on it.
All behind, good cover here from Sorum. The reaction play puts it just a quick tempo set to Anders Mole.
And it's that on-two that we saw a lot from Anders in João Pessoa, and they said, hey, we've been at the top for a long time. We got to continue to adapt to stay up there. And so look for Anders to continue to be aggressive on-two when it's available, and that was a perfect on-two cover from Christian.
High float serve. Cherif again, a little deja vu and a finger wave to boot. Cherif, you knew, starting to feel it.
How valuable is a character, an entertainer, an athlete like Cherif to this Beach Pro Tour? You got two good friends here between Cherif and Anders, and Cherif going high hands again, just a little finger wag. No, 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 no. You're not up there with me this time, buddy.
Inside set to Mole. He tries to take a little bit off. Feeling that block of Cherif and a hitting error.
This point right here might be the most important of the match. If Norway gets this point, it's 19-16 on to the good side. If they don't, guaranteed we're going through.
Ahmed, jump serve. Tight pass from Sorum, a tempo play, and over on long dig! Anders Mole coming over, kicking a little bit of sand on Ahmed Tijan after that brilliant full layout.
That might be the play of the tournament. Are you kidding me, Ahmed? Remember when we said it's ridiculous that Anders threaded the needle on the scrappiest team in beach volleyball? Well, that right there is the scrappiest team in beach volleyball.
There's the love between these two teams. So, set point now here for Qatar. Anders wants a little bit of tempo. Wide! And you're not going to see a better swing than that. Oh me, oh my, Anders Mole.
Excuse me. My goodness. That's something that you hit in warm-ups when there's no block for fun. You just try to bounce it as high as you can for the girls.
Oh,
and yet, here he does in the match.
High, out of system. Free ball here for Norway. Mole goes behind again. Tries to unload, but finds the tape, and that one sails wide. So, if you're a 1x betting man, you're putting some money on this one, going 3, and here we are to our third and final set as Qatar come back roaring. Take second set, 21-16 over Norway.
At some point, Kyle, it just gets ridiculous. And at some point, Kyle, Qatar has to win one.
Yes, yes.
They've lost 12 straight, as we've mentioned a number of times. It has been 6 years and 2,400 days since they have beat Norway. And yet they've gone to 3 11 times. And they have gotten close. In the Stag quarterfinals, they were up 11-9 in the third set. In the Joao Pessoa finals, they were up 13-10 in the third set. At some point, it has to go their way. I don't know if this is when it does, but that second set is the best we've seen from Qatar this entire tournament. If they can parlay that into this third set, the semifinals are there.
Do you think when they go to bed at night, they know they have to play Norway, they just say, all right, here we go, let's go out there, do our best. You know, maybe it's no expectations because they've beaten us 12 times. Tomorrow's our time here, boys, you know, and it's hard. It's so difficult when you go and play one of the best teams to ever play this sport.
And we were joking around with Qatar's coaching staff during warm-ups. I said, how do you scout a team you've never played before? And it took him a second, and then he gave me a punch in the arm and said, we get it.
So, start of set number 3, and it's a service error for Norway.
That's a big miss, but starting on the good side in this third set is even more important than in a set to 21, because in a set to 21, if you start on the bad side, you end on the good. Set to 15, if you start on the good side, you also end on the good side. And so that's a big coin flip win for Norway.
So I'm getting pushed wide, goes back to the line. Full layout dig from Ahmed. And trying to sneak it around. Anders Mole says, not today, sir.
When we were watching film prepping for this exact match, I asked you the question, is there a comparable player to Ahmed Tijan? And I just don't know if there is. David Amon is the closest we got, but even then, I still think Ahmed's got those twitchy plays over everyone.
Just a little bit different. Built differently, Ahmed Tijan. And Ahmed Tijan hanging and off the block of Anders Mole there for the point.
What a beautiful set from Cherif. Ahmed, it looked like he almost went with an intentionally high pass just to challenge Cherif. Obviously, he did not. But Cherif just rolls it up perfect. A very difficult set to make.
Deep float serve. That one goes long. So Qatar returning the favor on the missed serve. Break for Norway. 2-all. And Cherif, no spin on that swing. Travis, that one sails long.
Sails a little bit long, just a bit of a miss hit from Cherif. And who knows, if he hits that same swing on this side, maybe the wind knocks it down. It's so difficult to time your jump, to get your feet to the ball. We've seen a lot of players mixing up the timing when they hit the ball, and that's mostly due to the wind of the conditions.
Here's Ahmed Tijan climbing the ladder for a thunderous spike.
It's a massive swing from Ahmed, and another perfect set from Cherif going into the wind. It holds its position perfectly, and when Ahmed has stayed aggressive, he's siding out almost perfect.
Line box is the call. Sorum getting pushed to the middle. Soft shot over the top is touched and dug and set for Ahmed Tijan, and he turns right to the crowd looking for that love.
I wonder if Ahmed and Cherif, they're just going to buy some real estate in Brazil. This is their home.
They're going to get a discount, you know, possibly for being a local. Locals discount here. Brilliant play. Qatar just seem to be getting better and better every single point. 4-3. Sorum. A little off speed. Ahmed's there. This set not as tight. And the seam swing again. Somehow Ahmed finds the sand.
And Christian just hasn't brought a ton of power in this one. And Ahmed, it's just been basic line blocks for the majority of this match for them. As Ahmed, he's trusting his speed to get to the shots, and he's just staying balanced in the pocket, waiting for the digs that he hasn't been overpowered by yet.
Heavy serve, perfect pass from Mol. Mol high off the hands. Excellent high IQ shot there from Anders Mol.
If I could frame that platform and just put that on a DVD, aging myself there, put that on a streaming service, a YouTube tutorial of how to stick a jump serve perfectly, that was on the money from Anders.
Tight pass, that one goes into the antenna. So, a little bit of service pressure here from Norway on that bad side. They earn a defensive point. We'll switch sides. We're all tied up again. 5-all.
That is a big mistake from Qatar. Again, another relatively easy serve. And Ahmed, he seems to be walking around a little bit gimpy right now. He came up a little lame at the end of the second. Gives Cherif the thumbs up when he asked him. But again, that's a big miss as Norway goes into the good side, tied 5-5 instead of where they should be down 6-4.
Anders Mol. That one not getting touched from Qatar, and it's a clean ace.
Talk about capitalizing on your opponent's mistakes.
Yes.
You give Anders a freebie, he's going to take advantage.
Big time serve, a big time moment here in the third set. This one down the line, changing up the direction. Ahmed off the hands. Lefty jumbo is touched on the run. That ball's going to land in. Chaos here. Another dig from Ahmed Tijan. He's everywhere. Unbelievable. Christian Sorum with the baby Karchi cut to the middle of the court. And Mol looking for some love from the fans here.
Anders was famously booed in João Pessoa. And the crowd just giving their adoration for some darn good beach volleyball on that play. One of the best rallies we've seen in this match, and that's vintage Qatar versus Norway, is what it is.
Yeah, Qatar just not letting the balloon touch the sand. And I think a big moment in that play, Travis, is that tight ball on this side that Mol plays, which might have been going out, might have been going in, but if you let it drop, then you might lose that point. So no risk taken. So Mol takes that pass. They earn the point after Qatar not making it easy, but back and forth we go. So timeout on the court here for Qatar.
As you said, Kyle, there's nothing more haunting than being on a ball and letting it go and then it falls inbounds. When in doubt, just play the ball. Especially when you're Anders Mol. You've been voted the best offensive player in the world a number of times. Give yourself a shot.
Why not? Bet on yourself, as we like to say.
Rack up the stats for Everett Dorm, who drafted it first overall in our inaugural Beach Pro Tour Fantasy Beach Volleyball.
And probably the right first round pick is Anders Mol, as he does everything so very well, blocking, serving, siding out. But yeah, fun little fantasy draft that we had. Still tinkering with the format, but it is fun to root for your guys or girls who you draft.
You can find the full video, full draft on the Beach Volleyball World YouTube channel. We have a lot of content going up on the YouTube channel that is not Beach Volleyball highlights. It's previews, it's recaps, little features on the player. I have a fun one of Agatha, who just played in her last regular season tournament of her illustrious career, 160 professional tournaments. This is the last regular season we'll see from Agatha.
7-5. Heavy serve from Mol. Cherif, high middle swing there. Just Cherif keeping it so high, Travis, right now, making it out of out of reach here for Mole.
And a good pass set from Qatar out of the timeout. That's what they needed, and they got to steal one on this bad side. It is so important.
Sorum behind, really good set. There's some heat that we haven't seen from Christian Sorum, Travis.
That's exactly it, Kyle. There's that power, and every now and then, Christian, he'll just unload a couple to remind you that, hey, I still have the shoulder that had us as the #1 team in the world from 2018 to 2024. It's still in there.
That's 6 long years at the top. Lots of swings. A little bit of trouble here for Qatar. Another seam swing, and a ball comes right into the booth. You're trying to get into the action.
Don't worry, Florin, we saved your laptop. Cherif again, another brilliant swing. High, deep seam is the best way to go when you're in a fiddle.
Go up the middle.
Pardon for the interruption. Had to fish out the ball that ended up lodged into our commentating booth.
That's how much heat was coming on that swing. So that serve, good leave from Norway, just a little bit long from Ahmed.
And I still think risk is worth it. Ahmed's been one of the best servers in the tournament. Cherif has been one of the best servers in the tournament. I think you got to stay aggressive from the line. Big side out here incoming for Qatar.
Cross court, float serve. Mole pushing that one wide, so a huge break. Back-to-back missed serves. Cherif to toss up a jump serve. There's the option. We haven't seen much from Anders Mole. And credit to the service pressure of Qatar. But man, we saw so many options in Joao Pessoa from Anders Mole. Here's another look at it. So effective.
And Anders might be, when he wants to take over a match, he might be the most dominant single player in the history of the game.
And unbelievable Cherif Yunus. No one touching that ball on that swing. Nobody.
It's certain swings are untouchable. That one's going in the untouchable, unblockable, undiggable category.
File it. 9, serving 10. Tight set here, and again, there's that off-speed little sidewinder swing from Sorum.
Christian's ability to manipulate the ball, somewhere Adrian Karambula is even blushing and taking notes, as he catches the side and the bottom of it, and it creates that right to left, almost backspin. Christian's ability to manipulate the ball and hit every kind of shot in a dozen different ways is what makes him such a maestro on the offensive end.
And Mole looking to take a little bit off of that serve and doesn't get in. And a few words to someone in the crowd. Maybe said something during the serve he didn't like. Sorum behind. Down the line with some heavy heat, but it's dug outside the antenna. Can be played back. The perfect set from Cherif somehow. Another chance here for Sorum. And the second player to touch that ball, Christian Sorum, pushing it through.
A couple explainers on the rules here.
Yes.
So when the dig goes over the net but outside of the antenna, the blocker can run around and play the ball as Cherif did, but the set also has to go back outside of the antenna. Now, ruling interpretation on this one. Ahmed was saying that Christian open hand pushed it into the block. I agree with Osvaldo Sumaville, our Silver Fox on top, saying that it was a joust and you can take it open-handed.
And Ahmed trying to go Cuddy, and Anders Mole there with a huge monster block late in this third set.
And that could be the straw right there that broke the camel's back, as that huge block guarantees Norway to go to switch sides still leading.
He's going to go back to the line. He does. Brilliant touch there from Ahmed Tijan.
Most important point of this match, Kyle friend, is right here. Qatar needs this. Absolutely need this to put Norway within reach as they will switch into the good side.
Sorum to give themselves match point and a ton of line, and you see Cherif tap his chest. He knows he took a risk trying to go into that angle, and Sorum makes him pay.
Took a chance, and I think as a blocker you have to. You have to take a chance every now and then. You're going to get blocks this way, and he leans in just a little bit too early. The move is just a little too early, and Christian's going to be able to see that every time.
So 14-11, it's match point for Norway. Ahmed to stay alive, he does. Off that right tricep, I think, of Anders Mol.
Big swing from Ahmed, and now we have some big serves incoming. It'll be Cherif at the line to try to bring Qatar back. We have seen them make big runs on Norway before. Do they have one right now?
Cherif, nice serve. Mol to go to the semifinals. They do it. The Volley Vikings hold on in another 3-set thriller over Cherif Yunus and Ahmed Tijan.
And I'd love to put my